You know, sitting down to write a business plan as a creative can seem really, really daunting. It's just so corporate. Margins, forecasts, strategy. That's not the way we feel. That's not the way we communicate. That's not the way we speak. But the honest truth is, if we're going to have a successful art business, then we need to have an art business plan, just not that kind of plan. We need a plan that makes us feel alive, something that sparks our imagination and grows alongside us. A plan that not only builds the foundation of our creative business, but also becomes the safe structure in which our creativity can flourish. I like to think of it like this, that my business plan is my North Star. It's steady enough to guide me, but flexible enough to grow and change as I do. It's certainly not a spreadsheet exercise for me. My plan becomes my map that guides my art, that guides my energy, and guides my purpose. And when we get our art business plan right, something truly magical begins to happen. Our business begins to nourish our creativity, and our creativity begins to strengthen our business. It's like a feedback loop that gives us growth and confidence and purpose. Okay, so now I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps to writing your own art business plan, a plan that's creative, intuitive, and completely and wholly yours. Together, we're going to write something that gives you clarity and confidence, and also the structure to build the kind of creative life that you want, a creative life that thrives. So the way we're going to work through each section is, first of all, we'll define what the purpose of this section is. Then I'm going to give you a whole set of questions to ask yourself so you can really dive deep and get true meaning and true clarity around this particular aspect of your business. And then third, there'll be the action task. So what it is you actually physically need to do, what you need to write down, what you need to have done, so you can say, I've done this section. So let's start. Section 1, your purpose and where you're going. Every business, even a creative one, starts with a vision. But that vision doesn't come from a corporate mission statement. For a creative person, for an artist, it comes from within. Your vision is the heartbeat of your business. But it's not about what you think you should be doing. It's about what you're called to create, how you want to live, and what impact you want your work to have. Before you even think about pricing or marketing or strategy, you've got to understand where you're going and why you're doing this. Your clarity, or this clarity, becomes your compass. You can return to it again and again whenever you're feeling lost or overwhelmed or unsure. So together in step 1, we're going to uncover your creative vision, your purpose, your creative goals, and what success looks like for you. So the kinds of prompts you'll find in section 1: why do I want to build an art business? What do I want to get from my art business? Is it freedom? Is it income? Is it purpose? Is it a sense of connection with others that want to live an artistic life? What are my core values? What do I want people to feel when they see my art? What do I want them to experience? What does success look like for me? One thing you will want to do is download the artistic plan guide and template, which is in the description below, because it goes into a lot more detail, gives you a lot more prompts, a lot more action points than I can do in this video. Otherwise, this video would be 3 hours long. But what I will be doing is, once I've done this video on the complete 7 steps, I'll do separate videos for each section so I can go into it in a lot more detail. So the action for this section is to write your vision statement. It can be 1 or 2 sentences long, or it can be a paragraph long, or it can be a page long. Whatever it takes for you to fully express and to get down in a way that suits you and satisfies you the vision for your business. So in a nutshell, this is my example for my vision statement. I create bold, expressive, abstract paintings inspired by nature and my love of colour that bring energy and joy into people's lives while building a business that supports my creative freedom. So it's got the why and it's got the what being where it is that I want to go. I want to have a business that supports my creative freedom. That's section 1. If you have any questions about section 1, put them in the comments below. Once you've defined your vision and the kind of creative life that you want to build, the next step, section 2, is to understand who it is that your art speaks to. In corporate speak, your target audience. Because every piece of art that we create has its own language. And once we understand who it is that hears that language most clearly, our art and our business begin to align. So step 2 is understanding your art and your audience, who they are, what they value, and why they're drawn to what you create. So the kinds of prompts or questions we need to be asking us around this space is, what kinds of themes, emotions, and stories run through my art? What do others often say about my work? What words do they use to describe it? And who connects most deeply with my art? I'm describing my ideal collector, their age, their lifestyle, their values, what they do, and where they hang out. So your action for section 2 is to write your ideal audience summary. A couple of questions you need to ask yourself while you're writing this summary is, where do your ideal collectors spend their time? How does your art meet their needs and desires? So I've got an example here, and in the plan that you can download, there's a lot more examples as well. But this example is, my ideal collectors are people who appreciate handcrafted work and the quiet beauty of natural materials. They value simplicity, texture, and timeless design, and they see art as something to live with, not just to look at. Where they spend their time. Online, Instagram, especially accounts focused on craftsmanship and design. Etsy, Pinterest, Substack, newsletters, and slow living or artisan culture. Offline, they're at craft fairs, pottery markets, design stores, garden exhibitions, sculpture trails, heritage and conservation events. And how does your art meet their needs or desires? They seek authenticity, tactility, and a sense of grounding in an increasingly digital world. My work gives them a physical sensory connection to the handmade, something that is real and lasting. It fulfills their desire for simplicity, calm, and timeless beauty in their home or garden. So can you see, once you've written this action, you've got a really good understanding not only of your own art, but who your audience is, so that you know where to aim your marketing, both online and offline. Writing your art business plan is not easy. It takes time and it takes effort. It's hard work, but it is the foundation, the core, the single most important action you can take to ensure that your art business is a success. If you don't write a plan, you're just floundering. Now, you don't have to do it all on your own. Seek out others. We often get our best ideas when we're bouncing them off other people. So talk to your mentors, talk to others in your creative space. Ask them what they think of your art. There's a lot of groundwork that you've got to do to write a successful art business plan. You've got to put in the hard yards if you want to write the art business plan that is going to reflect you and what's important to you and where it is that you want to go. You can't ask GPT to do it for you. You can't sit down in half an hour and think, oh, I'm going to write my business plan now. No, it's something that you've got to think about and think about deeply. Really dig deeply, think honestly and with intention about the different sections of the art business plan. Because if you do, you're going to end up with a document that will sustain you and your business for years to come. Now that you understand your art and the people that connect with it, it's time to understand what it is that you produce and how it can sustain you. Section 3 is all about your product, your pricing, and your profit, but not in a cold financial way. It's all about respecting your time, your craft, and your value. How can I make my relationship with money feel more empowering and joyful? What story does the price I put on my art tell about the value I place on my art? What are the financial goals I want to reach in this quarter, this half year, or the financial year? So your action for this section is to answer the prompts and questions, but also to create a spreadsheet. And in there, list your products and your services and what your pricing range for them will be. Once you know what it is that you offer and who it's for, the next question to ask is, how do they find you and your art? Step 4 is about visibility, sharing your story, your process, and your art in the way that's most authentic. An important point to make here and to remember is that marketing doesn't have to be loud or forced. It can be just as genuine and creative as your art is itself. And it should be, because it's reflecting your art. Is my online presence consistent with my artistic identity and values? How often can I realistically post or email? Do I have an upcoming launch or collection release to plan around? And the action for this section is to create our marketing focus. So an example of my creative focus, especially when you're beginning, may be something like this. Share one studio story on Instagram per week, one YouTube tutorial every fortnight, send a monthly newsletter with new work and behind the scenes updates to my mailing list, and to identify 4 businesses in nearby cities with whom I can exhibit my work. With your art and audience in sync and your message reaching the right people, it's now time to get the structure in place to keep it all flowing. Step 5 is about your time, your energy, and your systems. It's the backbone that keeps your art business successful. Because when your days have rhythm, your creativity has room to breathe. So your purpose for section 5 is to build structures that support your creativity, not drain it. So the kinds of prompts and questions that you'll be asking yourself in this section are, and don't forget that there's a lot more prompts and questions and examples in the downloadable guide and template, which is in the description below. When do I feel most creative or energized during the week? What drains my energy the most, and how can I minimize it? What systems or tools will help me stay on track? And that could be a planner or Trello or Canva templates or a spreadsheet. When will I review my business plan? Will it be annually, biannually, quarterly? What 3 main goals do I want to achieve this year, creatively, financially, and personally? And what simple changes could make my studio more organized or efficient? So the action or outcome for this section, once you've answered the prompts and the questions, could be, for example, outlining your weekly routine. You could put down that I'm going to create a weekly planner for each day dedicated to a particular focus. I'm going to schedule admin power hours daily, and I'm going to create a studio prep routine. Even with strong systems in place, every artist needs support emotionally, mentally, and creatively. Step 6 is about strengthening your mindset, building your confidence, and surrounding yourself with the right people and practices that help you remain strong and grow. Because resilience is just as important as talent, and it is essential that we've got a community of people around us to help us get through those harder days, because there will be hard days. So the purpose of section 6 is to build our resilience and our support network. And the kinds of questions and prompts we can ask ourselves and answer are things like, who can I reach out to for support or accountability? What fears or doubts do I need to work through? How will I keep learning and growing as an artist? Where do I want to stretch creatively? What will I do to celebrate progress, even the small wins? Or I should say, most especially the small wins. And what boundaries or routines help protect my physical and emotional well-being? So your action for this section is to write your support plan. And again, it can be simple, just a couple of sentences, or it can be something much deeper that you feel most captures what you need in this space. An example might be, I'm going to join one online and one offline artist community. I'm going to have monthly accountability calls with a creative friend. Every 30 days, I'm going to review my progress and see what changes I need to make. And finally, we come to section 7. This is the section that gives your business stability and peace of mind. Legal and professional foundations may not sound exciting, but they're what gives you the confidence and the safety to create without fear. This step is about protecting your art, your income, and your future self, so that you can go about doing what it is that you do best, which is creating. So the purpose of section 7 is to protect your peace of mind. The kind of prompts you want to be asking yourself in this section are, what's my business structure? Is it a sole trader, a limited company, etc.? Do I have a separate bank account for my art income? Do I keep invoices, receipts, and sales records? What areas of the business side cause me the most stress, and who or what can help or ease that? And what does peace of mind mean for me as a professional artist? The action for this section is to create a checklist, a business checklist. And it can be as simple as something like this: register business name, open business bank account, create a simple income expense tracker, draft commission agreement template, research copyright and image use. In the guide and template, which is in the description below, I have a checklist which is about 4 pages long, I think, very, very detailed. You can cherry pick from that what it is that you find most helpful. And I will just put in here that I am not a legal, tax, or accounting expert, and the information that I've got in the guide and in this video in this section is for guidance only, and please seek professional and accounting advice. So that's the 7-step framework, your plan for artistic success. Remember, it's not a document or a checklist to rush through. Take your time. Think deeply and honestly about every section. That way it will be of the most use to you going forward. Take it section by section. Each section builds on the last. And as you walk through, you'll get more and more clarity and more confidence with what it is that you're writing. Your plan doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to begin it. And every step you take will take you closer to that creative life and that art business that you want to create. Don't forget to download my Plan for Artistic Success guide and template, the link for which is in the description below. And if you'd like more videos like this, honest, practical, creative advice for artists over 50 and beyond, then make sure you like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Remember, your art, your business, and your journey are all connected. Keep showing up for yourself, and your creativity will find you there. Brilliant. I just had the camera facing the wrong way.
I don't think so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never